Alright, so for this video, I want to do a quick review of different ways for you to get screen chat captures into your Word documents. Alright, now probably the one that most of us know right off the bat is print screen. Alright, this is a button on your keyboard. Alright, let me go ahead. My keyboard button is, somewhere in that area, one of those three. Alright, yours is going to vary. I have a Logitech wireless keyboard from like 10 plus years ago, so your location is going to vary slightly. If you're on a laptop, you might have to hold the function button to get it, but if we just go ahead and hit that print screen button, boom, nothing happens. All right, at least nothing visibly happens. However, if we go into our Word document and do a little Control V, you will see that it pastes my entire screen. All right, and it's not just my entire screen, it's my entire screens, plural. All right, I have a dual monitor set up at home. And I have a wonderful little dividing line right here, all right, and that's where my two screens meet. So this whole section down here doesn't actually exist, and you can see my resolution of my screens aren't quite the same. It does stink, but that's the way the game works. But anyway, print screen will grab both screens and all of the screens, all right, which may be what you want, and after the fact, you could get rid of, the information that you don't want. So if I click on this, if I right click on it, I can go ahead and do a little crop action, and I could say all I really care about is maybe that section, and then I could blow that section back up, So you can print screen, it does get the job done. Now, I believe that this still has the entire screenshot as part of it. Like if I save this document, let's go ahead and browse to, that's fine, let's call it test. If I exit out of that document, let's go ahead and use the jump menu to open that document back up. Not what I wanted. Okay, hold on, let's go back to our virtual desktop. So let me go ahead and open Word on this computer, open that test document back up. Now we're over here, there we go. If I right click and say crop, you can see I can crop it. Let's shrink this down real good. There we go. Now let me go ahead and uncrop it. So you can see I can bring that entire picture back. So even though I've cropped it, all of the data for that entire screenshot is still in the background, which means that file is going to be huge. All right, especially if you have a whole bunch of entire screenshots going on where you've got all of this data that you don't actually need, and all you care about is that little itty bitty bit. So print screen button does get the job done, might not be the best option. Our next option, let's go ahead and just shrink Word down a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's get a file explorer open. All right. Our next option is Alt Print Screen. So you're going to hold the Alt button and hit the Print Screen button. And again, you'll notice nothing happens. Now, if I go back to my Word document and I do a little Control Paste, though, that is the entire screenshot. That's all it is. It is not both desktops. It doesn't have any of my other desktop or taskbar or start menu or anything like that. All it captured was the window that was open. So if I have Word open and I'm selected on Word and I do Alt Print Screen and I paste that one, that will be the entire Word window. So how you actually have your screen sized, so let me go ahead and shrink this down even more, do an Alt Print Screen on that one. All right, does matter. So you can see how, this was open somewhat, this was really small. Obviously that doesn't show me a lot of details. Now might be a good time to go ahead and get rid of that. Maybe even turn off the navigation pane just to give you more real estate there if you're gonna have your window that small. But to each their own. So Alt Print Screen, it does a great job of just capturing the exact window that you have open. So for your tests and things like that, Alt Print Screen might be a good option. Just make sure you size your window accordingly, and that way you don't have to crop anything out. Another option is the Snipping Tool. All right, I think I made a little video about this already, or at least I've mentioned this in a video. The Snipping Tool is part of Windows 10. I think it's been around since Windows 7, but don't quote me on that. We do have all the wonderful different modes. So you have the full screen snip, boom, just like a print screen button does. Not what I really want. You have a window snip, which allows you, it's too new, allows you to pick which desktop. So if I want to collect my right screen, I'd go ahead and click that, and you can see, again, overall, come on, but it's just grabbing that screen, and it's not even grabbing the entire desktop, which is kind of interesting. If I pick my other screen, there we go. I don't know why it only grabbed that much, but that's what it grabbed that time with that window. You have the rectangular, which is actually the one I prefer because it allows you to grab just what you actually care about, nothing more, nothing less. Or you have the really freeform if you're really feeling crazy, and you can, you can draw your funky shape, and it will grab just that area. Now, one of the benefits to doing a snipping tool is you can actually draw on it right away. So as you can see, right off the bat, if I actually try to do anything, I can circle. I've got blue pen right now. You have a red pen, a black pen. You can do a custom pen, so if you want to do a custom color. So we go down to customize, you could pick what type of chip or point, how fine, and then you also can pick your color. All right. You also have a highlighter function, which is nice, so you can highlight specific things that you want me to focus on. Which is a big benefit for like tests and things like that. So instead of you having to like in Word draw boxes over something and hope that everything stays lined up, which it should, but doesn't always, so something to think about. So this highlighting is actually you editing that picture right off the bat, which again, kind of a nice idea. Then you also have an eraser, so you can erase things. Now, the eraser does erase an entire click. So from the start of a click to an end of a click, that is one action. The eraser will get rid of that entire thing. So if I highlight each of these individually, I can erase them individually. But if I was just trying to draw your attention up here, and I could just go whoop, I could draw that, but you only can erase that as a whole thing. So nice benefit there that you can, so we're trying to draw my attention to the font section. I could highlight it. Preferably do a better job than me highlighting right now. I'm just trying to do this quick and dirty. And I can go ahead and save. We'll go ahead and just throw it in my documents for good measure. That makes my life easiest. And then in my Word document, I can do an insert, a picture. I can go to my Documents tab where I just saved that, and I can insert it. And you can see that yellow is part of the document. All right. So that's a nice benefit that you can actually highlight things on the screen without having to come back later. It is a two-step process to insert your pictures though, so a little bit of give and take. And the last way to get something into one of your Word documents for this class, or for whatever reason you're watching my wonderful video, you can also do insert, and then we have screenshots. And notice they have all the different windows that are open, so if I want to insert my OBS screen, I could click that, and it will insert the whole thing, or you could do, I'm not sure what the black one is, but you could grab all the different sections, or you can do a screen clipping. All right, and once you do that, remember Word will minimize. It's going to take it half a second or so, allowing you to hopefully click and open something, and then you can draw a box around whatever's important, and it will grab just that little bit. All right. Now, again, if you wanted to highlight something in this, you'd have to kind of do an insert, not an online picture, a shape, probably a square. I'm going to go ahead and put a box around my face. And you're going to say, well, I don't want it to be dark blue, so we'll go ahead and give it a nice red outline. We'll say no fill, which that's not a bad way to highlight something. An even better way would be give it a more fill colors, and you can go back to yellow and give it like a 50% transparency. And now that really kind of stands out at you. Now, in theory, if I move this picture, it should move. If you actually notice the little, here we go. Hey, come on. I want to draw. Man, Epic Pen is not working again. Anyway, let's try one more time. Nope, not going to let me do it. That's fine. Anyway, if you notice, there's a little anchor icon up here in the top left-hand corner. That's showing you where this box is, how it's memorizing its location. So if I put if I try to move my picture down, and I hit enter doing it, you'll notice that the box does move with it, which is convenient because it's always based off of that point in time. Now, if you did go through and you added some spaces or something to that picture to move it over, you'll notice that that box doesn't move. It's still anchored to this point in space. So that does become kind of important for you for when you're doing some organizations and highlighting stuff and those types of things. And that's kind of why the snipping tool is better. It always will move with it. You have to think about what you want to highlight ahead of time, but it always will move with you. All right. In this situation, if you really want to make these like the perfect solution, you actually have to change its layout options to be not in line with text. All right, you'll notice our box disappeared, but I can also now just drag this around. So we can go ahead and then send it to back, put this over my wonderful face, select both and group them. Come on. There we go. Now they both will always move together because as far as the software is concerned, it's one piece, and then you can put it back in line with text. So much longer option if you want to actually group those two together. You can't group them with one being floating and one being in line with text, at least from all of my experiences. I've tried, doesn't seem to let me do it. So just something to be aware of. So that is a nice little quick review, quick, I know, 10 minutes, on how to insert pictures or screen captures from your computer into a Word document or other documents. All right, have a good one, guys.